One of the easy-to-grow winter flowering plant is the cyclamen plant. It is a low-maintenance plant and can give you lots of blooms if you care it in a right way. And in this video, we will talk all about Cyclamen Plant Care, starting from its location to fertilization, soil mix and much more. So keep watching and don't forget to subscribe. Cyclamen is a winter season flowering plant that have many color varieties. Their flower buds looks like this, and then a few days later, as the flower blooms, it looks like this. Their flower petals grow upward and don't have any smell. But the shade of their flowers is more than enough to add these plants in our garden. They also produces seeds, and have a bulb growing under the soil, both helps in the propagation of cyclamen plant. They might be rare in your area, but it will be available around your local nurseries, especially in winter days. In general, it's an easy to grow plant, but there are a few things you should consider for getting them on maximum blooming. The first and the most important thing in cyclamen care is its proper seasoning. If you are not growing any plant in its season, they will produce very less blooms and grow very slowly. In the same way, cyclamen plant loves to be grown in its season. These small-size cyclamen plants can be planted from their tubers at the start of winter days. They will continue to bloom in the whole winters and springs time to time. After the springs, they reduces their flowering habit and became a little dormant. If you are living in a cool climate area, then they can grow all around the year. But in most areas, the summers are their dormancy time and should be moved in a shade to protect it from the heat. But winters are their growing time and you can get lots of blooms from this plant. The another thing in cyclamen plant care is its proper fertilization. You can grow cyclamen plant very well with a normal fertilizer, because they don't requires much fertilization. To boost buds and flowers, you should use a nutrients-enriched fertilizer with an acidic pH. I am using my own winter flowers fertilizer. It works really well to keep the cyclamen plant blooming. A complete guide on making and applying this organic fertilizer is added in the description box. You can check that. Whatever the fertilizer you use, just make sure you are fertilizing them regularly. One of the common problem in such type of tuber plants is its watering issues. They are more likely to get a fungal problem and overwatering problems. For the fungal issues, you can use Neem Cake as a fungicide. Details are linked in the description box, but watering should be kept in control as well. Underwatering wouldn't harm this plant much, but overwatering can go really bad. To overcome this issue, wait for the soil to dry out completely, and then give it a good amount of watering. Some soil mixes dries out much quickly and some takes time. But make sure your soil is not staying moist for a long time. You can also lose the upper soil layer time to time, so the soil can dry out. For the soil mix, you should use a well-draining and fertile medium. It helps in a stress-free growth and blooming of the cyclamen. A compact and hard mixture can cause a very stunted growth of the plant. That's why you can either buy a good soil mix linked in the description, or you can also mix up a few ingredients and make your own mixture. A complete guide on that is also added in the description. The next thing in cyclamen care is to adjust its location. Location is very important to maintain a well-blooming cyclamen. It does not require much sun. A few hours of sunlight is enough to keep the plant growing. Deficiency of sunlight can cause less blooming and drop of its flower buds. But if you at least put it in an hour of morning sun, the cyclamen will grow really well. But more the sun, better will be the growth. So provide it good sunny hours. The another important thing to boost buds and flowers on cyclamen plant is to keep removing the dried flowers. Cyclamen flowers stay fresh and healthy for around 4 to 6 days, after that they starts to make seed pods. This thing reduces cyclamen's flowering. On the other hand, removing the dried flowers time to time, keep the plant more blooming. So keep the dried flowers out of the plant, to keep it blooming. For a detailed guide on cyclamen plant care and some of its common diseases, you can check out an article from the description box. So it's all about cyclamen. Some of the other winter flowers are also added in this video. Check it out to grow them too.